welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a very deep tone sultry-ish look. I'm using a lot of black and silver and gold and liner, and my eye itches, but we're getting straight into it with my Elmer's glue. If you know me, you know me. I love my Elmer's glue. I love my Elmer's glue, and this is like my go-to brow product right now. I did try the Anastasia brow freeze, and I should make a video on it, how I would use it and stuff. And that would probably be the only alternative that comes close to my Elmer's glue, to be completely honest. So this is my go-to. I don't need to really change it. I get the results I like with my Elmer's glue. The only reason I ever change it is if I'm working. But this is how one looks compared to the other one that's not done. And then when you get both of them together, this is how they both look. So I kind of like that snatched look. And then while I'm doing my makeup today, I'm going to be applying these Truly breakout patches. I've just been breaking out like crazy. I think it's wearing a mask. It's really affecting my skin. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and prime these lids and ignore our acne for a minute because it's not that serious. And when you're blending it out, you want to make sure you do this quickly because you don't want to leave any creases on your lid, especially before adding your eyeshadow. So I just make sure everything is evenly blended out. I even go past my eye because all of that will get covered super easily since this is concealer. And then I go ahead and set that top of my lid with this skin tone eyeshadow. I like to do this because I don't like that super bright look. And then I'm using that Makeup by Mario palette, the neutral, the matte palette he came out with. It's literally amazing. I love the color range. I think that this is a perfect everyday eyeshadow palette. And it's one that I always recommend to people because you have your good range, like all your browns. But if you wanted to like deepen it up and go a little bit dark one day, you could, because you also have the dark brown and the black in there. So what I'm doing here is just mapping out that cut crease, the shape that I want it to be. Sometimes you can make it a little bit more dome-like and dramatic. This is the shape I chose to go with today. Originally, I was going to do a smaller cut crease, so bring it even lower down to my lash line. But I feel like I did want to give that lid space time to shine, especially because I knew I was going to be doing a really thick liner. I also need to make room for that. So this is the shape I decided to go with. And yeah, I started with black because that is the depth that I want to bring to my face. But I'm going right on top of it with that dark brown. Mostly because I don't mind it being a dark brown shadow. The black is pretty much there to give it the depth whenever I apply it. Any type of color on top of it. So I did go in with that dark brown just to give it that nice blend. It starts to look gray a little bit, but that's okay because you can keep playing with the colors. And you can keep going in with either a dark brown or another light brown to really give it that ombre effect, but you don't have to. Yeah, so I go in with the Q-tip and the one size makeup melt away cleanser, whatever it's called. No, but I go in with this one size makeup dissolver spray on a Q-tip, and I go ahead and cut my crease. This has worked way, way better than Vaseline. A lot quicker, a lot less messy, and it really does the job. So if I were to be purchasing this makeup dissolver again, it would be simply to cut my creases and clean up that surface before I actually cut my crease. So I actually used the Makeup by Mario Master Metal Manipulator and mixed it in with the shade I have from Loca's Boutique's palette, the Active and Attractive palette. So I just put a few drops and mixed it in with that gold in there, and this is what it created. It made it a lot easier to apply. Any other day, I would have had to use some eyelash glue and just use the pressed pigment alone, but it did make my job a little bit easier. Plus, it's like cutting my crease once. So, yeah, that's always a lot better than having to do this twice. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try this metal manipulator with another pigment. Hoping to get my hands on his actual palette of metals because I'm sure they work the best with his product. But other than that, I went in and I started creating this super sharp, super big wing. I already knew I was going big today, so I was taking it little at a time, which is good because it's easier to add than to remove, of course. I did start little to big, but I pretty much just keep adding in small increments until I get to that wing shape that I like. And also, my eyes aren't very hooded, like completely, but they are hooded enough to, if I go a little bit too high with the liner, it will start to like bend and not be straight. So we're not going to do that. And I go literally right before that point. But after I remove my patches, I go in with my Charlotte Tilbury foundation. And this is my favorite foundation right now, um, like ever. So this is what I've been working with. I want to get that Fenty foundation again. So I'll be using that soon. But I've just like, now that I know how much it oxidizes and I know my right shade, I feel like I would just learn to love that Fenty foundation so much. Because, yeah, why not? But this is going to be my Bare Mineral Stick Foundation in the shade Sienna that I'm blending out, the liquid contour. And I'm just going ahead and doing this underneath any powders because it's kind of like double layering. Well, it is double layering of products. I also went in with a different contour on my nose just because it is a lot easier to blend this when it comes to just like small spaces. But this is that Morphe contour stick in the shade, I think it's number 6, effect number 6, which is important because they have a lot of undertones on their contour sticks. But yeah, I just kind of went all over my nose, and then I'm going to go ahead and do exactly what this eye looks like on this one, and that's using my e.l.f. concealer, the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer, and pretty much blending it and focusing on the front of my face for the most part. And then once all that's blended and kind of like set in stone, I'm going to drag it out like so towards my hairline and just kind of give that lifted effect. And then once my sponge is not as wet, I'll go do that inner corner, because I don't want too much of it to transfer onto my nose and stuff like that. I'd always do that step last, because you can see it does go right on top of that nose contour. So gotta get in those crevices, gotta get in that nose corner, all those creases. You want to make sure everything is set in stone. This concealer does dry pretty quickly, which is another reason why I like it, but it will continue to dry as you pat it in. This is me setting it in with some loose powder. Everything I use is tagged down below, by the way, you guys. I know I don't really mention that while I'm talking, um, but sometimes I forget. So go ahead and set underneath that contour. For the powder contour, which I'm using Pink Leaf Cosmetics Roll Up and Glow Up palette. Of course, this has been my go-to. Not just because I love the company, but because I actually love the formula in this Roll Up and Glow Up palette, especially for her blush. Her blush is like chef's kiss. So those have been my go-tos. I always apply it on my forehead as well because I feel like our forehead is the darkest spot on our face, so I always want to match that and bring that color back to my face. But me going in with that pink OG blush, and as you guys can see, like when I blend it into my contour, it kind of goes from like a pink to like a salmon almost. And that's what I really like about this blush, at least like how it looks on me. It always will look different on different skin tones and stuff, but this is how it works for my skin. And then I also go in and contour my nose. Like I always say, this part would usually go first. It would allow it more time to process and like sit there and bake. But it's okay if not, because it is a good enough contour regimen that you could do it after and still get really good results. Whenever I'm contouring my nose, I always make sure to go back in with that light shade that I begin with and reiterate the highlighting of my nose that I first initiated with this powder. So what I'm going to do is just go back in on that tip and the bridge of my nose. And then anything you set with light powder is just going to be a brightening effect. So I like to also set the sides of my nose using either a translucent powder or a pressed powder, a pressed foundation, anything that works best for you. I found that the L'Oreal Infallible Pressed Foundation also works really well for this step if you're interested in trying that. That's one of my go-tos, but this is just a translucent powder, so nothing too crazy today. We already got a lot going on in our eyes, but you always want to make sure you get that line nice and crispy and straight because that's how it was set. And then this is that jumbo eye pencil from NYX Cosmetics, and I'm just going ahead and I'm smoking out that bottom lash line. As you can see, I did drag in the inner corner of my liner. So this look is going to be just a really dramatic smoky eye look. That was kind of what I was going for in the first place, just something really deep and dark. Um, I know that after I edited this video, or I'm sorry, after I recorded this video, I started like playing around with makeup, and I did this like really cute dark black lip liner and red center lip look on TikTok. Um, so I came out really good, and I was actually really happy with the results and the pictures I got from it. But on a side note, this is the lashes I'm using, West Coast Shawty from Omega Lashes. These lashes are usually really big, but with this look and the wing, it just was a perfect combo. That lip I have on is going to be NYX Nude Truffle and Cairo in the middle, just with a little bit of concealer. Kind of did turn it a little bit more pink. But other than that, I love how this look came out. I think it's a really pretty, sultry look. Um, I was kind of feeling myself, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, I'm happy with how this looks. I did a little tutorial on a red dark lip with this look on TikTok. Of course, all my socials are at the end of my video. But besides that, I'm really happy that you guys come back to watch my videos if you do. And if you like my videos, make sure you leave me a like, a comment. I'm gonna try and be more active and be more active on my YouTube and replying to comments. It's just sometimes I do get a little discouraged. But it's okay. We're gonna stick it through and keep positive and just keep doing what I'm doing. I know hard work will always pay off. So other than that, I will be back next week, probably with a more natural look. Just because it's been a minute. But I'll see you guys then. Bye.